Come on in. Welcome in, welcome in. It feels like I just saw you guys.
Because stuff happens. And AAA is the most trusted roadside assistance. Join today and add a second AAA membership free.
USDA choice ribeye. Woo! That must have cost an arm and a leg. How can you even afford to barbecue these days, am I right? Didn't cost that much at all. I can see that now.
Kid, no jumping off the low price sign.
The lowest prices of any national grocery store.
Listen to your mom.
It's an MLB thing.
Your home deserves a roof that stands the test of time and Midwest weather.
Okay.
Roofing offered by Ace of All Trades is made
Well,
of 70% recycled rubber.
tonight they are at George M. Stamo Field, home of the Yankees. Spring training, temporarily home. For the Orioles, they will send up to the plate Holiday, Adley Watchman, Henderson, Westbrook, O'Hearn, Elias, Mullins, Causa, and Carlson. And the starting pitcher is Allen.
A seat protector and full bed protection. Trunks are totally covered.
You just got weather checked. Yeah, baby. Let's get dirty.
We're ready to get underway.
Order your premium American-made products at WT.com. The average dog only lives to be 10. At the farmer's dog, we don't think that's long enough.
Yep.
That's why
I guess the 3D mode ain't ready for us yet.
Because a dog in a healthy weight can live a longer, happier life.
Yeah, they told me I wouldn't. They told me I couldn't. They told me I shouldn't. I got my foot in. Yeah. We just getting started. I can hear the money calling. They don't really know I'm hearted. Put it on the line, I'm going all in.
Scenes from a weekend sweep as the Orioles took down the Angels in all three. The Rays coming off a sweep in Citi Field against the Mets. Baltimore's 30-40, Tampa's 39-32, and here is the Orioles starting lineup for the first of 13 meetings between the O's and Rays this year.
First of 13 meetings.
Cows are all out the day off yesterday in the 11-2 win, so the Orioles load up with their A lineup for the most part against Ryan Pepe.
Ryan Pepe.
Dodger third rounder in his 15th start of the season.
Let's see if the 3D mode will give us it now.
Very solid. A low whip at 1.14. 8 Ks per 9 innings, but he has allowed 13 home runs, so he has been excellent. His last 7
Holiday.
just 2.49 ERA.
Up to the plate.
Pitch, only 29 hits.
First pitch is a strike right there. Taken by Jackson Holiday.
Jackson, who sees just the third ball in his last 14 at-bats.
I mean, a ball right there.
And wow, 2 to Jackson. It's the first time.
2 to Jackson. No strikes.
2-ball count since his last at-bat on Wednesday. Very aggressive this year. Very good year.
No strikes so far.
Big leaguer, age 21. Sitting pretty on 2-0.
2-0 outside. Ball 3.
7:35 start because, well, we're playing outdoors in Tampa. Swing percentage for Jackson Holiday or Orioles Insights presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly board since
3-0 count.
Started May Jackson.
Strike right there, the first.
Awfully aggressive on the first pitch and often the good results. Getting in on an 86-degree day today at first pitch. 3-1.
3-1.
Lips and misses.
27-year-old Ryan Pepe. Yeah, you'll see a decent amount of them, 46% on the year. Opponents are slugging .508 against it, but talking to a lot of the Orioles hitters, as well as Cody Atchie, they call it a hockey fastball. A lot of spin at the top of the zone. It's got a little extra jump to it. Cody Atchie said they're going to have to get it down just a little bit.
That's up and away.
That's up and away.
6 pitches.
Ball 4.
Jackson Holiday is on base with his 14th walk of the year.
Well, I love this. We've been talking about it a lot with Jackson as we look.
Hey, if you're watching that Pete McDivitt show, come on in. Or if you
mentioned 46% for receivers.
one of the lines, come on in.
Almost completely this year, but the cutter's been very good and the changeup is outstanding.
His first pitch is high to Adley Rutschman.
First pitch is high to Adley Rutschman.
Speaking to other guys,
1-0, Adley.
At the big league level, you hit first, you walk second, and I believe that his swinging early in the count is going to lead. Ooh, there it is. It's going to lead to some of those walks because pitchers aren't going to. They're going to be nitpicking a little bit early in the count, and they're going to fall behind like Pepio did, and then he's going to draw some walks.
And the Rays are going to call for a challenge here on the pickoff throw from Pepio, who already has 3 pickoffs this season.
He's a good-looking athlete on the mound. You can tell he's athletic. Very quick feet on that spin.
This is our early Hyundai Managers Challenge. Test drive the new Hyundai today, only at your local Hyundai dealer.
Jackson flinched just a little. Looked like he was trying to get a jump. Boy, I don't see how you overturn that.
I don't either.
Me neither.
If it's not overturned, this would be the second straight day the Orioles' opponent burnt their challenge before out. Remember, yesterday, Zach Neto thought he got hit with the first pitch of the game. The Angels challenged and lost.
Well, we made it a few more pitches this time, but not very far into the game. And they're showing a slow-mo on the Jumbotron, and I just don't see how that's convincing evidence. I don't see how you overturn that thing. Maybe. That is close. Here it is. So the fingers are up in the air right there, but it's really hard to tell when the glove actually hits the hand. Do you think that's clear?
I don't think it's clear from what we see now. Frame by frame, maybe you could say there's a little elevation, but I think the palm of the hand might still be in the corner of the base. Mark Wegner is the crew chief plate umpire today. Bruce Streckman over at first. Gene Leibensberger and Brock Ballou at second and third, respectively.
It's actually 2 of my favorite umpires of all time right there, standing there together. Yes, Mark
Yeah.
Bruce Streckman, Mark Wegner, that actually is one of my favorite umpires, and he's the only umpire that ever threw me out of the baseball game. But I love him. He was great. It was my own fault.
What'd you do?
Well, he did call me out on a pitch that I thought was outside, so I really didn't argue at home plate. I went back, I watched the video, and then I came out and I yelled it from the dugout. They don't really like that. And I apologized to him after, and then he also said I probably missed it. So we're all good.
Did you use the immortal Todd Harrelson line? Come on, Wegner, you got to be believing me.
No, you got to be better than that. Bruce Streckman is just a great guy, great umpire, and a great guy.
Well, yeah, that too.
It's a lengthy challenge the folks in New York are making a call on. Here's Mark. Well, the Rays were disarmed from that weapon right at the start. 7 pitches in.
7 pitches in.
Challenge.
No more challenges.
So back-to-back days, the Orioles' opponent has played basically the whole game with one hand tied behind their back.
Hey, Daniel. How are you, my friend?
Yes, it is. Yes, no hands. After all that, Andy takes the cutter for a strike against 1-1.
That's a strike. 1-1 the count.
3 for 6, 2 walks in the Angels series. OPS up to 698. My adjusted OPS is a hair above average. This season has been trending upward for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, I really believe Adley's going to finish in that 750 range. I just think he has swung the bat too well. The underlying metrics have looked pretty good most of the year, to be honest with you. I think he's hitting into some bad luck. I think he also certainly got off to a start maybe that wasn't perfect, but the numbers are definitely ticking up. He looks really comfortable.
Man, boy.
Take care. That is the signature Ryan Pepio pitch. Changeup that spins as much as nearly any changeup in baseball.
Call Staines.
Early on in his college career at Butler.
I just had to refresh the screen. Throws a fastball, aka dead red piece of cheese, and strikes him out.
Absolutely. The combination of a changeup, fastball receiver is to me the best combination in baseball. And so Adley had a terrific take on the changeup on the pitch before, but then he just comes back with hated 95 with a little bit of life to it. And see Adley just foul it into the catcher's mitt. Good job by Danny Jansen to hold on.
Gunnar Henderson torches the first pitch to second, and it ends up as a double play.
Ends up as a double play. They get out of it.
Doubles on Holiday, who ends up erased at the base either way. Zach Eflin to the mound next.
Running a business gives me enough to deal with, like video meetings.
Great. Well,
You're muted. Getting trapped by.
it was
Tumbling through the bushes and
on night mode, Kenneth.
all up and down my mom said it was going to be a rough
Plus that.
And filing an insurance.
Let me just tell you this much.
Luckily, Auto Owners makes it easy.
The bot
Affordable
sucked
without any hassle.
in
That's simple human sense.
the stream because,
Agent, if Auto Owners makes sense for you.
other than that, the stream went well.
You in? To everyone who finds joy
Well,
in a great meal,
other than that,
we can't wait to see you again at Culver.
What makes us happy is making you happy.
no Braves game today because they're off today. So we're doing another baseball game called the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Or, if you like me, you know them as the Tampa Bay Rays. God damn it. 3D mode. Acting up on me. No. I'll be right back. Kenneth, keep an eye on chat.
Not just on one field, on every field. DeKalb brand, never settle.
Tampa Bay Rays have been buoyed by their lineup this year, ninth in the majors, 4.6 runs per game. Josh Lowe, Brandon Lau are the top two, and there is some serious talent in the middle lineup. Jonathan Arana and Junior Caminero, two potential all-stars, two big power hitters. Kevin Cash's Rays. Facing an X-ray, Zach Eflin, who was traded from Tampa to the Orioles at the deadline last year.
Yeah, 31-year-old from Oviedo, Florida, not far from here. His 10th start of the year. 1.09 whip. He's been excellent since the trade. Last year, 5-2 with a 2.6 coming over. This year, 6-2 with a 4.08. Now, obviously, offense has not been the Rays' calling card over the years, but they have been good. Eflin will have to be excellent here tonight.
Working on Josh Lowe, that backdoor cutter is fouled away. Josh, who missed a month and a half with a right oblique issue. 691 OPS, a little below league average. Great power and speed. So the backdoor curveball that Eflin would have liked was 2-1. Zach is coming off one of his best Orioles starts. 6 2/3 against Detroit on Wednesday. 5 hits, 1 walk, 1 earned run, struck out 5. Another breaking ball. High drive into right, which can really play shallow, and it does right there. Josh Lowe hangs it and bangs it out to one of the shortest right center fields in the league. This is a ballpark that has very similar dimensions to Yankee Stadium. As the summer months go on, it's starting to play even more favorable. A projected 334-foot home run makes it 1-0.
Yeah, this probably won't be a home run in very many parks, but there's a hanging breaking ball, and on the curveball, opponents have been slugging .719 so far this year. If he's going to throw that, he's going to have to keep it down in the zone. And you see Eflin's face. He knows that should not be a homer, but in this park, as they built it to essentially mimic Yankee Stadium, you can get some cheap ones.
Brandon Lau then whacks the first one in the center field for base hit. So Lau singles after Lowe goes deep. That would have been a home run in one and only one Major League Park, and this is the one.
Yeah, That's frustrating as a pitcher for sure. You love it as a hitter, not so much when you're on the mound. We talked about this offense really has been red hot.
Scored first in every game of the Mets series, has swept that series, scoring 7 or more runs every game. They're on the board first here with Yandy Diaz batting. Diaz has reached base 10 straight games. And he cracks the ground ball softly to Arias. The Orioles will turn 2. Nicely handled by Ramon, who cut off Gunnar Henderson for a 5-4-3 double play.
Yeah, beautifully done right there. The Orioles have been very good at turning double plays this year, and this is exactly what Zach Eflin's going to need to do tonight, is keep the ball on the ground as much as possible. Arias, great range, gives it to Jackson, who comes across the bag with some momentum and gets some serious velo on that throw to first base. Yandy Diaz almost looked like he slowed down at the end, which might have cost him from being safe by half a step.
It's not a very well hit ball.
No, I honestly didn't think they had a chance of turning that. You and I were talking even before the game, though. I think Jackson is one of the best at turning the double play at second base right now.
That's over the right field corner. That is a fair ball from Aranda. Loses the helmet rounding first. And Jonathan Aranda is likely headed to the All-Star game next month. Smokes his 14th double of the year. Second most on the team.
He has been so good all year, so consistent. Certainly against righties, he has been terrific also. And he loves hitting here. 300, average almost over, now over 370. There's that change that he just stays down on it. What you have to do with that pitch is really use your legs. If you don't, you're going to roll over and get a ground ball. But he uses his legs, able to stay through it and get that ball down the right field line.
So the Rays start 3 for 4. Here's Junior Caminero. 21-year-old takes ball 1. Caminero with an OPS of 1,045, with runners in scoring position. A monster year at 21. He's fourth in the American League in home runs. He's at 17. He's driven in 45. Top 9 in the league in home runs, RBIs, extra base hits, and slugging percentage.
Both of these teams have a 21-year-old that they like quite a bit on their side of the ball.
A couple of years ago at the minor league baseball awards banquet, which is a relatively new thing, Jackson Holiday was named minor league's hitting prospect of the year. This guy was number 2. Caminero, they've both been at points rated the number 1 prospect in the game by different publications. And they could be terrors to American League East opponents for a long, long time. That's 1-2. Beautiful two-seamer. Frozen for the strikeout to end the inning. Rays get the first one on the homer from Josh Lowe.
Your home deserves a roof that stands the test of time and Midwest weather. EuroShield Roofing, offered by Ace of All Trades, is made of 70% recycled rubber. EuroShield products are hail-proof, ultra-durable, eco-friendly, and can last more than 50 years, even through the worst weather events. Protect what matters most with a roof that works as hard as you do. EuroShield, protecting your home, conserving our planet. Call AOAT, the GOAT of roofing and siding, for your free estimate today.
To everyone who finds joy in a great meal, we can't wait to see you again at Culver's.
What makes us happy is making you happy.
We want every meal
Every meal to be filled with big bite moments.
Quick, crispy moments.
And even get your hands off my cheese curds moments.
They're just too good to share.
From the juiciest bites to the sweetest scoops.
We're all about bringing people together
over delicious food. From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious!
Dear unbreakable spirit, When the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. All the legend. Toyota trucks. Toyota has the best resale value of all brands according to Kelley Blue Book's TBvsBAL. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
It's time for Maryland Lottery's fast pitch contestant of the game. Constance Mahler from Essex, Maryland, has won $500 being selected and will win $500 more for every Orioles home run and $5,000 more for each O's Grand Slam today. Learn how to be a fast play contestant of the game at mdlottery.com/home run. And speaking of home run, that leadoff home run by the Rays for Josh Brown was you talked about it, Kevin, doesn't play well in a lot of ballparks. I had a conversation with someone from the Rays today. They pointed back to April, when Aaron Judge hit a ball to center field, exit velocity of 110, and did not get to the warning track. Later on that week, Meisner hit a ball below 90 off the bat and went opposite field home runs. They said these conditions change not only throughout the course of the game, but can change throughout the course of one at bat. It's very unpredictable. The weather and the conditions really do contribute to the offensive outcome in this game.
5 minutes, we generated an absolute wild ride here as Westbrook strikes a changeup in the dirt. There is so much crosswind at this ballpark. Folks talk about dimensions coming in and a place like Yankee Stadium dimensionally, but it doesn't play like Yankee Stadium because of the wind, which, as you mentioned, can shift in and out and left to right in the course of an at-bat, change multiple times in the course of an inning out here in Tampa.
Well, not to mention, Kimmy,
right over, cranks this one down the line and right. That ball hooking it is way gone the foul.
Well, you can see in some of these shots out in the outfield and those flags and stuff, the difference in a spring training type of stadium and a minor league stadium is you don't have multiple decks out in the outfield, which blocks some of that wind. Here in spring training parks, you get a lot of wind that affects the ball more than any other place in a big league park.
Turned down to second. It bounces out to left.
Yeah, to talk about that wind throughout the course of the pregame show in about 30 minutes. I noticed the flag was waving out the stadium, still waving back forth the stadium.
Nothing really. Top of two.
It's going to be fascinating to see how this park plays the next couple of months. Although, as the weather heats up, the Rays won't be here much. They only have 8 home games in July and 8 in August. And as a reminder, the reason the Rays are playing here, Hurricane Milton has devastated this area, flooded so many homes, displaced so many folks, literally tore the roof off of Tropicana Field. And the Rays are hoping, well, it's far from a certainty that the roof will be repaired in time to play next year. Now there's an entirely different matter of the Rays' future. We thought they had a plan for a ballpark not far from the Trop, a whole mixed-use development area in the St. Petersburg area. That fell through after the hurricane and after local elections.
Swing and a miss, strikeout. No, swing and a miss, strike. Pardon. I forgot what the count was. Thank you for giving him that message, Kenneth.
Good for Major League Baseball, good for the Yankees, opening this park up to the Rays. For that reason, they get to keep their home fans around. They get a pretty good atmosphere, to be honest with you. At times, you go to Tropicana and it's so empty, the atmosphere is kind of dead. Manzo, I think at one point we're talking about feeling more like a minor league atmosphere. I think sometimes this probably feels better than being at the Trop, though.
It's about 10,000, but it's packed in here tonight. 1-2. Swing and a miss on fastball, right? Petfield. Let's face the minimum through 2. Didn't have to worry about that.
Another strikeout.
You ready to meet the latest addition to the family? The money you saved us with auto owners helped make it all possible. It really is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
Third best thing. Third best thing.
Auto owners offers a variety
I was going to say, what dumb commercial would say that?
The more you should say.
Doesn't the wife and kid come first?
Make sense for you? Check this out.
University of Maryland
global campus is a school for
no offense to all the married people out there, but
earn up to 90 undergraduate
I was gonna say, don't do what that guy did and didn't dig yourself in the doghouse, but
Dear short curves. Don't spin your wheels. With more all-wheel drive sedans than any other brand.
I have an idea.
Big bang your bottom dollar.
Come on, Wingo.
Sharper than ever.
Thank you. Too much this. Not enough time for Oh yeah, by the way, Kenneth, I will be doing the MLB Midsummer Class. Let me start that again. To all moderators, I will be doing the MLB Midsummer Classic. And I will be doing the postseason all the way through the World Series. Now, if you guys want me to stream your team that week, except for the All-Star game in the postseason, and if they're in, just type it into one of the things and I can see if I can do it. Yeah. I'll be doing, I know the actual game I will be doing. I haven't decided if I'm going to do the home run derby yet, Kenneth. The home run derby is basically the day before. The All-Star game is the next day. Actually, let me look it up.
Short cutter for strike two.
Strike two on Mangum. Okay. MLB.
You started off the plate away and back to work. Very difficult for a left-handed hitter to pull the trigger.
29-year-old rookie, Jake Mangum. A little tapper over the mound. How many better hurry?
Wild pitch.
Mangum is safe with an infield.
Mangum is safe.
That one was very interesting. You and I talked before the game about Jackson's ability to move in on balls this year has been very good, way above average. But right here, I think he thought he had more time than he did.
This year, it is July 15th. I already know it's going to be played at Truist Park in Columbia, Georgia.
Not a good swing. He got out of the box quick. It was almost one of those Ichiro swings. So just one of those things. Internal clock did not click in for Jackson on that one.
Ray's fourth hit. Jake Caballero.
Ray's fourth hit. That one's hammered.
Delivers a
Deep drive to left field. But that one was hammered to left. They have selected the managers for the American League and National League. The American League head coach would be Aaron Boone, and the National League head coach will be Dave Roberts. 364.
Beats the ball into the ground for a hit. Caballero crushes the ball.
Well, it was more than just crushed. It had a good sound to it, too.
Typically, this part this year has played much more favorably for right-handers than left-handers. But of late, with the shifting weather and the shifting winds, it's been a much more left-handed hitter-friendly part. Jansen, the right-hander, slices this one into the gap, but Magnum
goes first to third.
So So 2 base hits for Tampa Bay in the inning. And the Rays
2 base hits for Tampa Bay in the first. If you're a Tampa Bay fan, well, this inning is for you. 2 on, 1 out. You're in inning number 2. It's not 2 on, 2 out. You're in inning number 2. It's just a 2 on, 1 out deal speech.
Hard hit baseballs in the first 2 innings.
4. It almost seems like it's been 5. If you ask me.
Morel shows a bunt. Waits up his 5 sacrifice bunts this year. Morel doesn't have any. He's ahead 1-0 after the wide sweeper. Terrific base runner at third, Jake Mangum.
Jake Magnum.
I think that was Christopher Morel seeing Urias playing back. I think he was going to take a chance to drop one down the line for a base hit, and if Mangum could score, which he probably would, either way, that was what he was going for. He either get a hit or maybe just score Mangum.
A sweeper right over the heart of the plate. Eflin, they've gotten away with one. Good numbers, small sample size against Zach Eflin for Morel. Came over from the Cubs a year ago. 26 homers with the Cubs in 2023.
Yeah.
21 OPS. Numbers have really cratered since.
Well,
He shows bunt again, gets it past the diving Eflin. How about that? What a terrific play.
if you're a Baltimore Orioles fan, this is the exact inning you hate because you want to avoid the big inning. You don't want to give your opponent, which is the Tampa Bay Rays, an opportunity to score.
It's not a great bunt, but it happens to end up being perfect. It's too hard. And Eflin charges thinking he might have a play at home, but it goes to his left, and Morel ends up with a base hit and an RBI off of it.
I think what the O's need is to get their heads, pardon my French, everybody, out of their ass. But if you're a Tampa Bay fan, the easiest trick is get them on, get them over, get them in. Got him.
The Rays have lost their challenge.
Yeah, this is a big one because I think he was safe, and they don't have a challenge. I do believe he might have been safe on this. Cash is losing his mind because there's no repercussion for it at this point.
Kevin Cash put his hands on his head, and unfortunately, he can't put his hands on his head to signal challenge because the Rays used their 7 pitches into the game.
I'll be right back.
Like a butt hit off the bat there, but then honestly looked like a hit when the throw came to first.
Yeah, but give Ramon incredible amount of credit right here because this is a phenomenal play. I mean, this should be a hit all day long. Low sunken, look how far back he's playing. I mean, he was nowhere in the screen when he laid that ball down. But just tremendous effort. What a strong throw right on the money, and I do think he is pretty safe. He looked like he was safe by a quarter of a step from that angle.
Bruce Dreckman had the call at first. And Drew French is out for a mound meeting with Brandon Lau coming up.
But this is kind of some of the stuff that the Rays can do. Josh Lowe goes deep. His first at bat. Wow. Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
That might be one of the worst I've ever seen, to be honest with you.
That makes the Armando Galarraga imperfect game ending look like the most bang-bang play in the world.
Oh, wow. I'm not going to lie. I said Bruce Dreckman is a great guy and has been a great umpire for a long time, but that was not his finest. Hey, the Orioles will take it right now.
Yeah. That umpire screwed up.
So 2 on, 2 out for Brandon Lau. rolls one to first. O'Hearn, Eflin, and the Orioles get out of it. The Rays get one. It very easily could have been more. A magnificent break for the O's. We go to the third.
Magnificent.
Hey, Dad, brought you some popcorn.
I'll be back.
You worked
Kenneth.
so hard for us.
Just keep an eye on the chat. If any bots come in, go ahead and just hide them from the channel. Okay. And then the normal stuff too. But if you see Richard again, tell him I have to just add him as a mod so I don't have to deal with that mess again.
It's not dry food. It's not wet food. It's just real food. It's an idea whose time has come.
Dear Freedom.
Yeah.
What forms do you
Hey, you
take?
should have just been here
More
a few
lives
seconds
saved,
earlier.
more dollars saved.
The ump at
more
first,
life embraced,
let me just put it this
more
way,
electrifying vehicles
messed
than
his
any other brand.
call up.
Yours, Toyota hybrids.
He signaled out,
That's right.
but
Toyota has more electrifying
clearly he
vehicles
was
than
safe
any
by a
other brand.
mile.
Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
The concept is fun. Spicy coffee. It's going to work. It's going to be great. Then
Oh.
reality is, there's all sorts of things you don't really think about when you're starting.
Well, that too.
Having a platform like Gusto help you run HR and payroll on a single platform is huge. It's intuitive, user friendly. This Sunday, the Bird Bath is taking over Guinness Open Gate Brewery with a special watch party. As the Orioles face the Yankees, you can watch on a big screen with gates opening at 10 a.m. on live Q&A hosted by our friends and colleagues, Melanie Newman and Ben Wagner at 10:30.
I'll be right back.
Plus, meet former Orioles All-Stars, Mr. Splash, the Bird, and the Camden Franks. Go to Orioles.com/All-Star for more. It's going to be the last of a 7-game road trip. The Orioles embark on to Tampa and New York. First of a 4-game series here at George M. Steinbrenner Field today. Cedric Mullins.
Cedric Mullins.
The other way.
Sends one high and away. Route number 1.
My brain, every time you load up to say where we are, my brain wants to say the trunk. So now, can we say we're at the Stein? Sure. We're at Steinbrenner Field, the big Stein. The Brenner. The George.
Colton
He was one of those guys.
Krauser up the bat.
He'd go by one name in the world baseball when he was running that organization.
Yeah, wow, that too. Got to put that on slow mode for Kenneth.
Being amenable to not just the 18, but their division rival in the Rays. It's temporary and all. Bowser takes a changeup for a strike outside the park. There's a big raise up sign with a couple of Rays players, and on the bottom it says "Thank you, Yankees." Some wonderful sportsmanship, but a really tough situation down here. Bowser strikes out swinging.
Krauser strikes out swinging.
Who after a leadoff walk has retired 7 straight with 4 Ks.
Yeah, and the changeup has given Cowler some fits all year. But then you come up against this one, and it has an insane amount of vertical drop. You also look at the way he gripped that, and the way that released out of his hand. He rotates his hand towards that third baseline, and it just falls off the ceiling. I guess Ben would be better at telling me whether that's pronating or supinating. I don't have a clue.
Well, he has said he pronates it, so we can take his words for it.
Well, yeah, that too.
Spin rate on the changeup, revolutions per minute in the majors. Devin Williams, number 1, as Carlson takes that changeup.
Carlson takes that changeup.
As the Orioles first hit.
As the Orioles first hit.
Right there, but that's what makes that feel so difficult is that, when you can
Yeah.
throw 95 with high spin at the top of the zone, and then you've got a changeup that comes out. Look at this. Watch that. Did you see those last 3 fingers just almost shoot towards that third base dugout? Terrific piece of hitting by Carlson. It's almost like you got to pick the pitch and sit on it if you really want to get him off of that changeup. And take your chances and see if you can start to get him off of throwing it quite so much.
He said his goal is to make it as close to a screwball as possible. Williams has the changeup, which is an airbender. This is obviously a lot more of a spinning changeup. We saw the RPMs. It's more side to side. It's less straight down. Jackson Holiday went through the fastball 1-1.
Osco, though, it has a ton of vertical drop.
Right.
Also, just that's the crazy part is that it does go side to side, but it also falls off the table, almost like a screwball.
It's a pitch he didn't even come to college with. He got shelled in summer ball after his freshman season at Butler. He said he just started messing around with grips and started playing catch with a 4-seam grip, and then this wild pitch, Frankenstein changeup, came out of it.
I love that. You know, he wasn't at a massive college. He goes out in the summer, gets whacked around, and figures out a way to get better.
And then paints 96. Henry has punched out 5 today, 3 scoreless for him in a 2-0 game.
These are fun. USDA choice ribeye. Woo! That must have cost an arm and a leg. How can you even afford to barbecue these days, am I right? It didn't cost that much at all. I can see that now.
Kid, no jumping off the low price sign.
The lowest prices of any national grocery store.
Listen to your mom.
It's an Aldi thing.
Thanks everyone, especially Vicky. She's been with us since the beginning and saved us enough on our insurance to help us open our second location.
Auto Owners offers a variety of discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Vicky.
That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if Auto Owners makes sense for you.
Who are you talking to anyway?
It's a commercial.
Dear sharp curves, don't spin your wheels. With more all-wheel drive sedans than any other brand, you can bet your bottom dollar we're sharper than ever. Because man, we got traction. Yours, Toyota sedans. Toyota has more all-wheel drive sedans than any other brand. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Saturday, June 28th, join us for Marble Day at Camden Yards. The first 20,000 fans will receive the Iron Man and Iron Man form. Cal Ripken Jr. Iron Man bobblehead presented by MDOT's Work Zone Safety Campaign. Join us as the Orioles host the Rays and get your seats at Orioles.com/tickets. O's in Tampa tonight, trailing 2-0 as they open their season series with the Rays. First of 13 between the AL East rivals. Both teams coming off 3-game weekend sweeps. Part of the Rays order, Diaz, Aranda, and Caminero. Tampa Bay with 6 hits so far, but only 2 runs against Zach Eflin. As Diaz pulls a ground ball and kicks off of Urias into left field. And Tampa Bay's had the leadoff runner on 3 straight innings.
Well, this is what Yandy Diaz has been doing for quite a while here as a Ray. He hits a lot of ground balls. Those are one of the things when they traded for him, they thought they could maybe get him into hitting the ball in the air more. He's so big and strong, but he hits it hard on the ground. Urias makes another great effort, just kicks off the top of his glove. But Diaz hits more balls hard almost than anybody in baseball.
The third most hard hit balls of anybody. And the 2 ahead of him, Shohei Ohtani and then Bo Bichette. So Diaz reaches in what is ruled an infield single, and the Rays are now 7 for 12. That really should be 8 for 12 because that last call at first, Josh Lowe's bunt. The ball to Aranda for a strike, 1-1. Zach Eflin's already given up 2 more hits than he did in 6 2/3 against Detroit. Major's best team went into that series on Wednesday. 1-1 from Eflin. It is outside.
The tough part about going up against an offense that you know is clicking on all cylinders is you try to be perfect. And then next thing you know, you start falling behind and you get into hitters' counts. Zach is a guy who's very aggressive. You have to stay aggressive. Those are two pretty good pitches on the outside part of the plate. Didn't get the call on either of them. Probably both off the plate. But one of the reasons why Ronda's been so good this year and his on-base percentage above 400 is because of pitches like that he lays off of to now put himself in a great hitter's count.
3-1 sinkers down and away. Now base percentage just went up. It's the third highest in the American League. 4-11 into the ninth, and Ronda puts 2 Rays on with nobody out.
Yeah, I mean, what a revelation he has been for them this year. Put him in the middle of their order. Don't know that anybody saw that kind of production coming from him quite this early.
You see the changeup usage down at 9% today. It was tied for his most thrown pitch against Detroit. It's a hard time even getting to it. Caminero swings out of his shoes on strike one. Last 4 starts for Zach Eflin, that changeup, he's thrown it more than any 4-start stretch in his career. Slugging against it is below 200. The chances to throw it against 4 lefties in this lineup. That ball's a changeup, and that changeup turns into a 5-4-3 double play. How timely was that?
Well, that's exactly what he did against Detroit. He got 8 ground balls in that game off of the changeup alone. And that is what he is going to have to use to keep himself in this game, because obviously we know how this ballpark's playing. You see it right there. It almost grips it a little bit like a split. It's not your typical circle type of change, and just enough downward movement on it to get that ball on the ground. And we mentioned it earlier, the Orioles have been so good at turning double plays this year.
He's thrown 4 changeups now tonight. All 4 have been put in play, and the 2 double plays came off of right-on-right changeups. Diaz in the first and Caminero in the third.
Yeah, I love that pitch. It gives him something that runs down and in on the righty. That's not a pitch that right-handed hitters love, to be honest with you. It's the ball down and in.
That breaking ball is wide to Jake Mangum 1-1.
I think you're seeing that actually more and more around baseball now. This guy's using the changeup to the same side, pitcher and hitter, right on right, left on left.
How do you think it works?
Well, for that reason alone, like especially right on right, we're seeing 2 guys tonight who can do it. Fabio obviously can do it. It's because you get that ball moving down under their hands, under the hands of a righty, which I said that's not a pitch generally that right-handed hitters like. They want the ball more up in the zone, out over the plate. So I think it's a great pitch right on right, and lefties just generally do it more often probably than righties have so far, kind of in the course of the game and the history of the game. But a good left-on-left changeup does the same thing, because most left-on-left, you're looking for something soft away, hard in, and then when you throw that changeup that starts on the inside part of the plate, most left-handed hitters are thinking that's a fastball, and you get way out in front of it. I remember talking to Nick Marquez, that was his least favorite pitch, was a left-on-left changeup in, because out of the hand, when you see the spin, it spins like a fastball. So immediately your mind goes fastball in, and you're way out in front.
Any pitch that made Nick Marquez uncomfortable would be a pretty devastating pitch.
Flat out hit.
Get rid of Mangum, was so good, runners in scoring position, and taps the ball to third. Reyes is not going to have a chance either. No way Bruce Strickland can make a safe call on that one. Mangum beats another infield single into the ground, and the Rays have scored in every inning.
That is 2 infield singles by Mangum that have cost the Orioles runs already. It's led off the second inning with one of those kind of choppers to Jackson Holiday, who couldn't make the play, which led to 2 more a run in that inning. And then right here, you've got 2 outs and a man in scoring, and he just chops one down the third baseline. We've seen Urias make tons of great plays going that way, but Mangum just gets down the line too well.
Kevin Cash said he's 100 miles per hour in everything he does, Jake Mangum. 2 for 2 as Caballero takes in the dirt.
Yeah, and he's 10 for 10 on stolen bases, so now Eflin's got to worry a little bit about that over at first base also.
Waving a miss and a sweeper by Caballero. Rays have had 3 base runners now in each of the first 3 innings. 8 hits and a walk. 15 batters.
Yeah, and honestly, not all of them. They have hit some balls hard, but they have also not hit some balls hard. Obviously, we're talking about Mangos, but even Yandy Diaz, as hard as he generally hits it, wasn't smoked in the hole.
Dummy to steal there, and pitch is called a ball. Even though it looked to catch a good chunk of the strike zone. And they popped out of the crowd, and sometimes they mess with the play umpire. On the ground at Henderson. Caballero. Rays just keep putting up notches on the scoreboard here. One run in each of the first 3.
You won this year's chili cook-off. Our girls played in the softball finals last spring. You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
You remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you. Jeff, Mary, Dan, Sarah, Nate.
Dear Freedom, what forms do you take? More miles driven? More dollars saved? More life embraced? And more electrified vehicles than any other brand? Yours, Toyota Hybrids. That's right, Toyota has more electrified vehicles than any other brand. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The 4th inning of Orioles baseball is brought to you by Baltimore area Toyota dealers. It's game on at Toyota. Visit your local Baltimore area Toyota dealer or check out buyatoyota.com. Tampa, Florida on a Monday night. The Rays and the Orioles opening their season series. Took until game 71. Adley Rutschman, a high fly ball to right. It's pretty shallow out there, and Rutschman takes advantage. Short porch shots apiece. Low led off the first for the Rays at 334 to right center, and Adley will take advantage of the friendly confines. 329 colossal feet. It's going to count all the same to get the O's on the board.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Hitting is all about knowing where you're playing. Adley said, oh yeah, Josh Lowe, you hit a 334, but I can hit a homer shorter than that. So he went 329. But look, this is what we know is going to happen in this ballpark sometimes. But also credit Adley, though. I mean, this was, yes, it's a short homer, but this is a ball up in the zone. He knows he's going to get a fastball up there at some point, and he gets on top of it enough to backspin this sucker out into right field, and maybe the wind got a hold of it a little bit, maybe a little bit of everything. Now Gunnar with a pull it up the middle. we were talking a little in between innings. You've got to be careful letting these Rays get too far ahead. And I love the Orioles bouncing right back with one and now getting another guy off with nobody out. So look how short the stride is. Look, when you're facing somebody who's got that kind of spin, I'm not sure if he put his head down because he thought he was out, or he thought he knew it was a homer, but it was a short, quick swing to the ball. The bat head has to stay up just enough on that kind of pitch, and he got great backspin carry on it.
So, your typical launch angle on a home run, somewhere around 30 degrees in the angle off the bat. That was 49. I don't know. I genuinely do not know if I've ever seen a 49-degree launch angle home run. We'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, you might could have seen one in Fenway to left. You know, you could get a really high, short one to left in Fenway.
Maybe just down inside the pesky hole, too.
Yeah. That's high, though. That's up there. That's like you're trying to hit in a silo.
Not 3-1 to Westford. I've heard the phrase home run in a silo often. Never has it been more applicable than right there. You know what? That's good karma for the Orioles after the low home run. 3-1 to Westford. Ooh, circle on the inside corner from Ryan Pepio.
You know, it's interesting when you and I were looking at some of Pepio's numbers and just trying to make some sense of certain things. One of the things that we noticed was a lot of, when you throw fastballs up there, you get some loud contact that goes way up high in the air. And a lot of times it's 95, 100 miles an hour off the bat, but you clip it just underneath the bottom of the baseball so you don't get enough of it for it to be a home run in most parts. So you get these loud, high fly balls that are out steep. And this one, in this part, turns into a homer.
That was 101 off the bat, too.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, because you can barrel that thing up at the top of the zone, but if you just clip under it enough, you get all that backspin that shoots it way up in the air, sounds good off the bat, feels good off the bat, but you don't get that typical launch angle and carry. But here with the short porch, it still goes out.
3-2. That's outside. Westford has his walk. Rutschman, Henderson, and Westford, the first three Orioles are aboard in the fourth.
This is exactly what the Orioles needed, was an inning that makes Pepio work. He had not put a ton of work in the first couple innings. They were pretty smooth, 9 straight cruising. And then you get, a little cheap homer, which frustrates him. Gunnar doesn't waste 1 second, takes the first pitch and bullet. And now you've got maybe your best hitter up with some guys on the bases and a chance to do some damage with the Orioles right back in this game, or maybe on top.
One, nobody out, throw hard. So that home run by Hadley, 49-degree launch angle, is the highest launch angle on any major league home run since May 12th last year, when Lamont Wade Jr. did it for the Giants. Hard over to second, nicely played by Lau, and the Rays very niftily turn 2.
Yeah, that was really well done up the middle right there by Brandon Lau, who really hasn't been outstanding on defense this year, and this field can get hard and choppy at times. Wow, that is great hands. That ball actually came up a little bit at the end. Watch this. He stays low, but then the ball comes up. Terrific little backhand flip to second. Nice turn by Caballero, but well done right there by Josh. By Josh Lau at second base. Josh Lowe, Brandon Lau, I don't know. It's their brothers. I don't know what they are. They spell their name. They say them strangely.
Be happy Nathaniel Lowe's not here anymore.
Yeah, seriously. I think they did have one time.
They did have brothers Nathaniel and Josh here. Then they played against each other in the playoffs a couple of years ago. Up and in Ramon. What is, whatever his name is, Brandon Joshua, what is the toughest part of that play for a second base?
Well, the toughest part is you're going side to side. So going to your right, but then trying to get in front of it. So you're trying to get your glove square and not get it going sideways. And then that ball takes a little hop. So you have to feel the hop and then get it out quickly. He just did a terrific job. You want to start low and always come up with the hop and not start up and then have to go down. And what we saw there was he got his glove down as he was moving over, and as the ball came up, then you can easily bring the glove up. Where people get in trouble is they move side to side with their glove up, and that's when you get in trouble.
So you're saying low, we needed to start loud.
Please. No.
Or wait, is it loud, needed to start low? Who knows? 1-2 aside, 2-2 for Motor Rios.
You are not meaning that.
Do what I do. Just write L-A-O for Brandon.
I do. I literally spelled it totally out of whack on my scorecard just so I would remember. It's still messed up.
Hey, you got 3 more games. It'll be all right. 2-2 coming. Ramon fouls away a changeup. Again in that run from third, Henderson give the Orioles multiple runs in the inning. Won a huge series against the Angels and a great homestand overall. 5 for 16, doubled, homered twice, drove in 4. And a 2-run shot in the first inning yesterday off Yusei Kikuchi. Orioles had back-to-back great offensive efforts against lefties, Tyler Anderson and Kikuchi. They said a good righty today in Ryan Pepio. 2-2 for Ramon. 97 tied him up. And the Orioles strand a runner at third, but they do bring in one up, very up and away for Badly Rutschman.
Now this is just what the Orioles needed. They needed to get on the board, and it was a big swing. Pepio a little frazzled. Takes it 3-1.
At Taco John's, we serve a higher standard of flavor with grilled chicken, creamy fiesta sauce, and always hot potato olays. That's what we call West Mex. Try our freshest lineup yet with a new Fiesta menu only at Taco John's.
Hey, Dad, brought you some popcorn. You should relax. You work so hard for us.
What happened?
It's a little fender bender, but Mom already filed a claim with our agent, and we can track the status right from the app. Auto owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense. Well played.
Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you. I'm fine, by the way.
What?
Dear Freedom, what forms do you take? More miles driven? More dollars saved? More life embraced? And more electrified vehicles than any other brand? Yours, Toyota Hybrids. That's right, Toyota has more electrified vehicles than any other brand. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Whoa!
1 week from today, the Orioles return home to face Corey Seager, the Texas Rangers. 3-game series Monday through Wednesday at Oriole Park. Great seats available at Orioles.com/tickets. They're all great seats at Camden Yards, where the O's come off a 4-2 homestand. Zach Eflin and Danny Jansen here. It's a 3-1 game after the Rutschman home run. Trying to put up his first 0 of the game. He has at least minimized damage with 8 hits and a walk against. Tampa Bay is stranded 4 in hitting.
Yeah.
Got there, and everybody pretty much earned.
Hang on, everybody. Let me just log back in. Yes, I know my partner channel's on.
His numbers are insane when you look at him.
5-1.
For 6 years, it's just, and he does kind of flies under the radar.
It was part of what made that day so special last year. Bolton was one of 4 Orioles to take him deep with 4 home runs in that game, the most Zach Wheeler's allowed in any game in his career. 273 games, all starts, he never allowed a 4 home run game. Besides that one.
Strike.
For strike for Brian Peppier.
A slider right there.
You really were hoping for a little bit of a shutdown inning at the bottom half of the last inning after the Orioles built one up to make it 3-1. Now you got to come back and put some on the board just to get some of that momentum back on the Orioles side right here.
Hang on, the share screen is coming over.
6 strikeouts, 3 hits, 2 walks against Peppier, who's a lot less this year. 13 of 14 starts.
13 of 14.
2/3 or more.
5 2/3.
Very low right now. Hauser slams it.
Hauser slings it foul.
Peppio's swing and miss rates actually way down this year, but he's thrown by far
2-2. Count 5th inning.
Than ever. 54% of his pitches have been in the strike zone. His previous
54 of them in the strike zone. Right there.
That's a great fastball changeup combo.
Yeah, well.
Really let it work this year to left and right.
That too.
And he can chase out of his zone.
And then he can.
You think one's coming to the knees, and instead it's a dive bombing change for.
Then it's a dive bomb and change ball. Yeah, well.
That changeup, if you get one this good, and it's really tough when you've been struggling a little bit against the pitch, and then you get somebody who's got it dominant.
Well, that too.
Falls off the table, Calder swinging over the top and out in front. It is a tough pitch to lay off of, and that's why I said in some ways, at some point, especially maybe if you're holding Calder at least, gotta just sit on one and just hope he gets one up in the zone.
And
A really good swing on his first at back.
okay. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
49% strikes is not very good, in general. It's crazy that was where he was living with his strike percentage before this year.
Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun.
Interesting to see teams try to adjust to them a little bit this year. Teams have swung more against the Rays early in the count. The first pitch swing rate against the Rays is the 4th highest to the majors. But it doesn't matter right now because Peppier is getting ahead and dominating. 8 strikeouts for him in 5 innings.
Well, let me bring the other one on. That's what he's doing back there. Figured. Oops. Okay, to the dokes. Okay. No. No. Yeah, right. Boom, 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 boom.
This comprehensive telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Why? Without the express written consent of the Orioles. DJ Kitty winning the mascot race here.
Huh. And you got the
DJ Kitty costume.
Yeah.
George F. Steinbrenner Field should be getting double pay.
Double pay.
Should be getting an IV of hydration.
I'll be right back.
There's a fan inside. Base hit Jonathan Aranda. The Rays have the leadoff man on 4 out of 5 innings against Zach Eflin.
Goodness, he just keeps hitting him. What a terrific approach he's had. So short and quick to the ball, 2 for 2 with a walk tonight.
Third in American League first base voting in the All-Star battling early. Argue Jonathan Aranda should be first. 27-year-old from Mexico. Caminero first base swinging. That is a fair ball in the left field corner. Kicks around to Cowser, who hoists it in, and Caminero's got a double. 2 pitches, 2 more hits. This Rays offense has been a battering ram tonight.
Well, they are for real. I mean, like I said, this hasn't been their calling card over the years, their offense, but this is just kind of a hanging slider. And this ball just sneaks inside the line, maybe a foot inside of that air line down the left field. And they just keep hitting. They're being aggressive. They're getting pitches in the zone. They are barreling it up and hitting it hard. Now you're going to have to bring the infield in.
The 11 hits tied a career high against Zach Eflin. It's the 3rd time he's allowed 11 hits in a game, in the first in 6 years, June 24th, 2019 against the Mets. Jake Mangum on the first pitch. My goodness. That's off the left field wall. That will bring in 2 more. Mangum standing in the second with a double. 3 pitches, 3 hits, and 2 Rays runs. 7-1.
Yeah, I mean, look, they know Zach Eflin. I mean, he was a Tampa Bay Ray for a while. They know that he's going to pound the strike zone. He's going to throw a lot of strikes, and they have been ready. They've been aggressive. Right here, another breaking ball, just kind of up and out over the plate. Mangum doesn't try to do too much, just stays on it, drives his ball down the left field line. 2 RBIs, and this game is almost starting to get out of hand already, but the Rays came out swinging, and they haven't missed a whole lot of pitches when they've gotten the opportunity.
12 hits are now tied for the most against any Orioles starter this year. Cade Povich allowed 12 in a game in Kansas City. The Rays' slash line is decidedly average. They're 15th in average. They're 15th in slugging, 17th on base. When they get runners on, they just wear you out. 3rd best OPS in the league with runners in scoring position. And they're 4 for 7 with runners in scoring position tonight.
I mean, even you see that first pitch right there. Eflin has just caught too much of the plate too often tonight. That ball was center right there. First pitch. I think Caballero wishes he had it back.
Caballero, an accidental swing, will advance Mangum. Check swing out.
That was that good changeup. We just haven't seen him use it, I think, quite as much as he did against the Tigers. The couple that he did use tonight, he got some ground balls on it, a couple double plays on it. I think it's something he's really going to have to keep using more and more against these right-handed hitters.
Moser pitch the infield in for Danny Jansen. Zach is not a strikeout guy typically. He has not been tonight. Struck out Caminero to end the first. That's it. There's a strikeout, 2 walks. Other than that, everything in play. Cano was throwing. Now Gregory Soto is getting heated up. Those are a little short in the bullpen today, though. They did add Colin Selby. At least Kate Movich on the IL with some minor left hip inflammation. Hot to bottom. Carter has the second out this glove.
Yeah, those last two outs, Caballero ran it in off of the plate right there. A really good cutter out on the outside part of the plate, outside corner, or maybe off. And that's how Zach Eflin has been so effective over the last couple of years. He doesn't strike a lot of guys out, like you said, but he certainly doesn't walk anybody either. He likes to keep the ball off the barrel, work the edges. Tonight, just a few too many pitches over the heart of the plate.
Christopher Morel had a bunt base hit in the game. Swings through a sweeper.
That pitch right there, that's the one that he has not been able to have full command of tonight. Last couple of he's thrown have been very good.
It's just the 10th pitch in the inning to 6 batters, and he's throwing some good sweepers back to back.
I mean, even that one was supposed to be on the outside corner, and that ball ran way back on the inside part of the plate. You can see he just maybe doesn't have his perfect command. I think he would tell you he probably doesn't have his best feel of the season so far. And you do wonder, is it the humidity and the heat? Is it not being able to grip the ball properly? You don't know all the factors of why a guy maybe doesn't have his perfect feel on that night.
It feels a little like Zach Eflin is the crash test dummy thrown out into the first game here in the Steinbrenner Field for the Orioles in June. Maybe the next couple of starters will at least spend a day or more here. Along the mound can be a lonely place. Strikes out Morel, ends the inning. 2 more for the Rays, who have scored in every inning.
Pampers Swaddlers keeps baby 3 times drier, so your baby stays comfortably dry all night long. Pampers Swaddlers, dry all night.
Life gives us enough to deal with, like doing your taxes, hosting in-laws,
Oh, you're still trying to do the beer thing, huh?
and of course, filing an insurance claim. Well, luckily, auto owners makes it easy. They pay what they owe without any hassle. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
What is that smell?
I wonder why they call it a support bean.
I don't know, but it tastes low-berry.
Ugh, an organ pro? That's it. I'll never eat here again.
Nope, 1 star.
Orkin, the best in pests.
Want restaurant quality meals that actually support your wellness goals? My name's Pete, been a chef for the past 25 years. Spent the last 7 years at Factor. Ready-to-eat meal delivery services are not created equal. At Factor, it's first. Nutrition and flavor is first and foremost, and we create every day.
In-market fans can watch the Orioles with no cable subscription or contract required on Maps and Plus. Stream on your iOS and Android mobile devices, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and now through MLB.tv. Just $64.99 for the season pricing. We'll reduce best value on MassSports.com and subscribe today and don't miss the pitch of Orioles baseball. 6th inning in Tampa. That 7-1 right at the field has been terrific. With 8 strikeouts, including 3 of the last 4. 3rd time through against Holiday, Rutschman, and Henderson. The ball boy is coming down the left field line. The ball man is coming down the left field line. I'm sure maybe something got loose there. Nice slider 1-1. Nephew trying to make it through at least 5 2/3 innings for what will be an 8th straight start. A new world in Tampa Bay Rays starting pitching this year. The days of the opener are at the moment behind them. They just have workhorses. Joe Boyle made a spot start. Other than that, the Rays have used the same 5 pitchers every turn through the rotation.
Yeah, it's the Angels, I think, were the same way. That's got to be the only 2 in Major League Baseball you would think they would use the same 5. Pepio's been excellent again tonight. Last outing, 5 2/3, struck out 9, 6 of them on the four-seamer. Tonight he has 8 strikeouts, 5 of them on the fastball, the four-seamer. So he is filling up the zone. He is exactly kind of what Kyle Snyder right there, their Rays pitching coach, who was my college roommate and one of the guys in my wedding. He preaches, hey, count the strike zone, strike 1, strike 1, strike 1. He's done a phenomenal job with this Rays staff over the last, I don't remember how long he's been here now, about 8 years, I believe. Took over for Jim Hickey, who also did a great job. But they know what they're doing, and there's that terrific changeup. So you have to respect the fastball at the top of the zone at 95 with high spin. And then you have to protect against that as well. And as a hitter, that is just such a deadly combination. And look at the spin. Even though it's spinning sideways, to some degree, it still looks like a four-seam spin coming out of the hand because it's got that same rotation to it. Just so difficult to defend against those 2 pitches.
There's a lot I want to get to on what you just said. I don't want to gloss over, though, that Kyle Snyder was in your wedding.
Yeah. Yep. I was in his wedding.
How was he as a girl?
Well, very tall. He's tall.
Did
Much
you
taller than
try
me.
to
I would have
push
been
him all the way to the
best
side?
man. Yes, I could not stand beside him because they would have been like, oh, look, Kyle's son is getting married today. His 12-year-old son. So Kyle's 6'8". When he came to North Carolina to play with me, my dad recruited him there. He was 6'8", 181 pounds when he showed up in Carolina. But he was the number 7 pick in the draft overall in 1999. Terrific pitcher. Had some arm injuries, but won a World Series with the Red Sox in 2007. But he is a brilliant pitching mind and has done a phenomenal job with this staff and this organization when it comes to pitching.
So Bradley, who's homered, since you know him so well, what makes him such a successful coach?
Well, for one, I will say this, what we all know. Coaching and managing is first and foremost, how do you manage people? And he's such a great people person and manager of people that he gets the trust of his guys. And to me, that is a massive thing, first and foremost, because they trade for a lot of guys. You know, they bring a lot of guys in here from trades, and they're trying to reshape them. They're trying to take what they have seen in another organization and their reports and then make them better, which they have done an incredible job doing. But in order to do that, you have to gain their trust. You have to say, look, I am in this for your best interest. I want to make you the best version of you I can. And Kyle's has a great ability to do that. And then they take all the information and they're able to, I think, input it as well as any organization in Major League Baseball. So, you know, I think those 2 things are what make him so good at what he does.
If you're pitching coach of the Rays, he's been the guy pretty much all of Cash's tenure. Led the Rays to one of the best records in baseball in their tenure. World Series in 2020. Henderson chops one over to second. Another one of Kyle Snyder's start pupils, Ryan Pepio, has a 1-2-3 inning.
You've been doing an all-star job at remaining consistent with your warm-ups and practice routines, Sagittarius, resulting in elevated performance. But you can get carried away when things are going well, which could lead you astray. Keeping yourself on track with your pregame rituals will help ensure that you're still raking all the way to October.
Thanks everyone, especially Vicky. She's been with us since the beginning and saved us enough on our insurance to help us open our second location.
Auto Owners offers a variety of discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Vicky.
That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if Auto Owners makes sense for you.
Whose time is it anyway?
It's a commercial.
It's all about standing up to Mother Nature's challenges. It's all about being ready for anything. It's all about never taking potential for granted. What do you grow? Asgrow brand. It's all about the beans.
Couple of double plays turned by the Orioles tonight. They're part of our All-State Good Hands replay.
Yeah, Ramon is ranging to his left, makes a nice play. Little easy flip to Jackson. Again, same. Let's repeat it if it works. Two good changeups by Zach Eflin to get the ground ball. Double plays when he needed them. Just could have used a couple more of those at times with all those Rays runners on base. But the Orioles have been excellent playing defense, turning those double plays.
12 hits against Zach Eflin, 7 earned in 5 innings. He logged and struck out 2 each. 12 hits a career high against. And Zach's night is over. After 76 pitches, 50 strikes. Gregory Soto takes over for the 6th to face Lowe, Lau, and Diaz. Soto pitching for the first time in 3 days. Starts with a 97-mile-per-hour sinker strike.
Yeah, Soto's been very good, especially good as of late. 24 and 2/3. You see, man, this Orioles bullpen, they can strike some guys out. 10.2 per 9 innings. That is what they've been so good at. Gregory Soto over his last few outings, 14 outings, 2.31 ERA. So this Orioles bullpen is rolling right now.
Soto's very quietly put together a really, really great stretch. Slider down and away. That's been a big swing and miss pitch for him. Career low walk rate right now in his 7th big league season, Gregory Soto. He's only allowed 2 balls that would be considered barreled balls, typically resulting in extra base hits. Down and away for ball 2.
It is nasty stuff. It's electric coming out of his hand. You see 97 right there. And then as a left-handed hitter, you also have to be able to stay on that slider, as you mentioned. Almost 45% swing and miss, 15 Ks and 38 at-bats. You would think he's going to try to bury one of those right here.
Yep, he sure did, B-Rob, and he buried it, indeed.
Making 16 strikeouts and 39 at-bats against that pitch now on the season. I mean, it is so tough on lefties. Opponents now hitting under 200 left-handed hitters against Soto. You see that tight spin. I mean, just 0 chance right there for Josh Lowe. He's had a pretty good night so far, but that was not one of his favorite ABs, I don't think.
One of the things Soto's done well this year, I mentioned a career low walk rate. It's also induced more chases than ever in his career. The highest chase rate. Batters go outside the zone against him. And that's a terrific picking ball. That one, a little bit more of a sweeping slider.
Yeah, it was almost like a slurve sweep. Like you said, it looked like the velocity was down a little bit even more. But what makes him so effective is that pitch. Then he can bury the hard one. And then his sinker. I mean, as a left-handed hitter, it's coming at you. They are slugging 310 on the sinker. So, I mean, what are you going to pick? You want to attack the sinker down under your hands as a lefty, or are you going to try and stay on that slider?
Locust just absolutely buried. That was rather uncompetitive. The guy who just hit a 426-foot home run looked like he was playing in the under 12 league against a 35-year-old.
That is just built there. That ball ends up nowhere even near the plate. That ball's a couple inches into the right-handed batter's box. And as we know, Brandon Lau is a terrific hitter, as we mentioned. So is Josh Lowe, but they just look like fools right there.
Another first pitch strike. 7 out of 9 strikes here. Yandy Diaz, the base hit, 3 at-bats. Reese had at least one hit, at least one run every inning against Eflin. So they're trying to quiet the waters at least for a few batters. He could be a real important part of this series. Low and Lau, Aranda, all at the top of the lineup.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing that has allowed the Orioles to have so much success in the last, 15 to 20 games has been the starting pitching that's kept them in the game. Obviously, the runs per game offensively have gone up, but man, when you can get to this bullpen, the back end of this Orioles bullpen, you're going to win a lot of games if you're close, you're within a run, you're winning by one, down by one. It's in these sorts of games that happen some early on where you put up some runs and then you give up too many, and then you kind of have to just feel like you're battling back all the time, and that gets tough.
Go back to May 24th, last 21 games, the Orioles' third best bullpen in Major League Baseball, 191 ERA. Hit Diaz. Slider that got away, and the Rays get a two-out base runner. Swinging batter Gregory Soto has hit this year. Here's Aranda, double, walk, and single.
Well, Aranda's been pretty darn good tonight against the righty. Let's see how he handles this kind of at bat. Like you said, this might be important these next couple days.
Rays are quite a bit better against right-handed pitching than lefties as well. The Orioles may throw a lefty at them on Wednesday. Could be Trevor Rogers, still TBA. Tony Mansolino didn't tip his hand with his words today. He had a big smile on his face and looked up at the sky when he was asked if Trevor Rogers was an option for Wednesday. Kate Povich, the Orioles' other lefty starter, is on the IL, as you mentioned. Hip inflammation. They don't think it's a major injury.
That is just nice instead of beating on the outside corner. That's what he can do to get himself back into the count on that short one pitch. Now it opens up the fastball or that slider down the way. See Colin Selby just recalled. He's loose out the Orioles bullpen.
Pitch it again. Soto, powerful Aranda. And struck him out. 3 Ks in the inning for Gregory Soto. Flashing some film from the left side.
USDA choice ribeye. Woo! That must have cost an arm and a leg. How can you even afford to barbecue these days, am I right? Didn't cost that much at all. I can see that now.
Kid, no jumping off the low price sign.
The lowest prices of any national grocery store.
Listen to your mom.
It's an MLB thing.
Running a business gives me enough to deal with, like video meetings. No, you're muted. You're muted. Getting trapped by this guy.
Tumbling through the bushes and bam, poison ivy all up and down my arm. My mom said it's going to be a rough summer.
And filing an insurance claim. Luckily, Auto Owners makes it easy. They pay what they owe without any hassle. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if Auto Owners makes sense for you.
Game night Friday. You in?
You can help send the Orioles to Atlanta. Scan the QR code on screen or go to MLB.com/vote to cast for 2025 Pro Spirit MLB All-Star Ballot Daily. Phase 1 of voting. The first update, the top 2 batters at every position, the top 6 outfielders will advance to the bake-off. And Ryan O'Hearn, leading All-American League designated hitters. Jackson Holiday, second for all AL second baseman.
Yeah, 7-1 and a 6, bottom of 6.
You guys who have certainly put in all-star caliber seasons. And great to see that update with Ryan O'Hearn. As Jordan Westberg grabs the ball toward the middle, it's kicked by Brandon Lau. So Westberg will reach the leadoff.
Kenneth, I'll be back tomorrow working on the stream. All right. Peace.
Defense all year. This play really should not have been that difficult, but he just couldn't get it to go in his glove. He ranges over there. I mean, that ball is not even.